Sports Squad, we got a crazy one today. Another ICE shooting. Now on my channel, this is a newer channel. We cover different topics that's trending on social media or things happening in the news, political stuff. It don't matter. This is not a political channel. We cover different trending topics. All right, check the channel out. Make sure you subscribe. Help me out. Let's grow. All right. This happened in Minneapolis. A man by the name of Alex Pretti was fatally shot down by ICE agents. And you know how the internet goes, whether you're on the left side, right side, whatever political party you represent, everybody had their opinions about this. This is the problem. This is the big issue. No matter what side you on, let me let you know right now, I am not on either side. I am going to play the middle ground here. But with that being said, I'm going to get all of the evidence, or try my best. If I leave something out, let me know in the comments. If you have an opinion about this, leave it down below. Civil discussions.
That up. Is I just want y'all to understand this is before other camera angles came out.
Yeah.
Okay? So I want y'all to see how this man's talking now. Okay?
Investigation is going to uncover, again, the investigation is going to uncover all those facts.
Can you move us for a second, put us in the middle? Just because they need to see the text. The text is saying today.
Don't put us at all?
Yeah, or yeah, just don't put us at all. You can hide us. All right? Here we go.
Things like how many shots were fired, where were the weapons located. All those facts are going to come out in the investigation. I wasn't there wrestling that assaultive subject that was assaulting Border Patrol agents. I wasn't there wrestling him myself, so I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to wait for that investigation to come. No, don't interrupt me. I'm going to wait till that investigation comes out until I make a decision there. During this operation, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Again, the investigation is going to uncover all those facts, things.
Okay.
You're saying all this after the footage is already out, my guy.
Exactly.
So when the footage is already out, you're like, investigation.
So, guys, this is why you should film them. They don't.
Go check them out, man. They are really good creators, for real. Now, you see how he's saying, I wasn't there myself. I'm not going to speculate. I don't got all the facts, all that, right? And this is something that he said recently. This is the most recent thing that he said about this shooting. Do you see the before and after? It said yesterday and then today. You know, I don't know when you guys are watching this video, but at that time, it was a before and after. Basically, different stances that he was saying about the situation, basically. You know what I mean? It's just like a Republican or a Democrat. They see something, they take it out of context, and whatever party they represent, they just run with it because, oh, well, the left is like this, the right is like this, so they don't understand. This is the truth for real, but it's like you're only saying what you're saying because of whatever party you're a part of. Both parties need to really look back, chill, and examine everything before you just pick and choose what you want to believe and just run with something. You know what I'm saying? He definitely deserved to get shot. He shouldn't be out there messing with ICE and all that. He shouldn't be protesting. You know, that's a part of freedom of speech. You know what I mean? But there are limitations to freedom of speech or protesting. You know what I mean? And also, I believe in Minneapolis, you have the right to carry openly. You know what I mean? Like, you have the right to do that. He was armed. Now, I'm pretty sure there's some people saying he wasn't armed, but he was armed, but they disarmed him. Allegedly, they disarmed him, and once they took his fire weapon, his firearm, they still ended up gunning him down. This is what's being said. So with that being said, we're going to look at footage. Because what the man said, the head of ICE, he was saying from a certain angle, oh, this is what happened, this is what happened. But then, there's more footage that might contradict what certain people are saying. So let's find out. This video is titled Conflicting Views on Minneapolis Deadly ICE Shooting.
Federal and state leaders continue to offer starkly different messages on exactly what happened. Meanwhile, thousands taking part in an anti-ICE march in Minneapolis today, carrying signs showing their support for Alex Pretti. Federal agents shot and killed him while he was taking part in a demonstration yesterday. The Department of Homeland Security maintaining that he charged at agents with a gun. Witnesses continue to dispute that. The Border Patrol commander defending his troops' actions. The governor of Minnesota blaming the White House for the unrest.
The question is, what's the plan, Donald Trump? What is the plan? What do we need to do to get these federal agents out of our state? You thought fear, violence, and chaos is what you wanted from us, and you clearly underestimated the people of this state and nation.
Let's think of what those agents were doing on that scene, making a split-second decision. You had 24 hours to try.
Okay, his name is Gregory Bovino, it looks like. I'm the commander. Okay.
Armchair quarterback things. That agent had a split second to make a decision.
Now, like I said, how we do this, we're going to look at different angles, different perspectives, different POVs, and different opinions of what people are saying, right? This one is titled, this one is by the news channel Fox 2 Detroit. In Detroit, Alex Pretti ICE shooting in Minneapolis. Obstructing law enforcement is illegal.
Fultz and Mayor Fry have shamefully blocked local and state police from cooperating with ICE, actively inhibiting efforts to arrest violent criminals. They have also used their platforms to encourage left-wing agitators to stalk, record, confront, and obstruct federal officers who were just trying to lawfully perform their duties, which has created dangerous situations threatening both these officers and the general public and Minnesotans alike. This is precisely what unfolded in Minneapolis on Saturday morning. Obstructing federal law enforcement and inciting violence against officers is wrong and illegal. This used to be a universally accepted position in the United States.
What she just said right there about obstructing law enforcement is wrong. Of course, it's wrong, no matter what party you are a part of. Like people of the right storming into the White House, you know what I mean? When it was said and allegedly that there was certain people who are part of law enforcement tempting people to storm into the White House, you know what I mean? People of the right, people of the left do absurd things at certain times. If you want to protest, you shouldn't be at a protest causing chaos and mayhem, no matter what party you are a part of.
Amid the hysteria, we must remember how we got here to this moment today and what this Democrat opposition is about. Former President Joe Biden and the Democrats opened America's borders for 4 years, inviting tens of millions of illegal aliens from all over the world to flood into our country. Among them, violent criminals who terrorized American communities and have inflicted devastating, permanent pain and harm on law-abiding Americans and their families. Yet we never saw outrage from Democrats or their allies in the liberal media over these horrifying crimes against U.S. citizens. The pain of American angel families was ignored and dismissed because it undermined the Democrat narrative. Innocent Americans like Jocelyn Nungray, Laken Riley, and Rachel Morin are just a few of the many victims savagely murdered by illegal alien criminals. Earlier this month, an illegal alien from Mexico with a long criminal history who came into our country under Joe Biden's administration threw a baseball-sized stone at a school bus carrying children in New Jersey and fractured the skull of an 8-year-old innocent child.
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely true, everything that she was saying. But can we stick to the matter at hand here? This is what both parties do. Something with a certain topic is going on. The way they respond to it is they'll respond to it a little bit, then they'll track somewhere else and be like, well, this happened, and then remember when they did this and this. And it's like, bro, stick to the matter at hand and speak on this. Like, and it sounds like from her stand, she's like, people are causing mayhem, obstructing the law and all that, and this is the results of it, basically, right? Now, this video is by Today News. This one says in its title, video appears to contradict Trump officials on second ICE shooting.
In large numbers today after a man was shot and killed by a federal agent in the streets on Saturday. The second deadly shooting by immigration agents in less than 3 weeks. The victim, 37-year-old Alex Pretti, was an ICU nurse at the Veterans Hospital in Minneapolis, protesting the ICE raids in his city. This morning, local officials and Democratic lawmakers blasting the Trump administration, demanding once again an end to the operation. NBC's Camila Bernal is in Minneapolis with the latest, including a timeline of the fatal incident that appears to contradict the administration's account of the shooting. A warning that video is difficult to watch. Camila, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Willie. It is difficult to watch for a lot of people here in Minneapolis, which is why they've been braving these freezing temperatures to go out and protest. We were there for very tense and chaotic moments as federal agents were blocking the scene. But later on in the day and into the evening, the protests were mostly peaceful as this ICU nurse and local resident was remembered. Anger and grief in Minneapolis this morning as hundreds gathered for a vigil in honor of Alex Pretti, a 37-year-old shot and killed after a confrontation with federal agents. Video shows Pretti Saturday as he appears to be directing traffic. He's seen recording on his phone as a woman is pushed to the ground. Pretti gets in front of an agent and is pepper sprayed. It quickly becomes chaotic as he too is pushed to the ground. Federal agents surround him and strike blows. Then the first shot is fired, immediately followed by several more. The Department of Homeland Security saying that the man who was shot approached Border Patrol officers armed with this semi-automatic handgun.
That's what they led with, remember? That's what they led with, right? Let's keep going.
Violently resisted attempts to disarm him. The agents, according to DHS, were conducting a targeted operation.
Call an ambulance, please. Call an ambulance.
DHS says despite the efforts of medics, Pretti died at the scene.
He thought it was terrible, kidnapping children, just grabbing people off the street. He knew it was wrong, so he did participate in the protests.
He loved his country, but he hated what people were doing to it.
He was an ICU nurse, and this morning his family saying they're heartbroken, but also very angry, adding he was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends. Their statement then goes on to say that he is clearly not holding a gun. He has his phone in his right hand, and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman Ice just pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed, they added.
We had this discussion with him 2 weeks ago or so, that go ahead and protest, but do not engage, do not do anything stupid, basically.
He wouldn't.
And he said he knows that. He knew that.
Local officials saying Pretti was a lawful gun owner with a concealed carry permit, and that details of what led to the shooting remain unclear. His death reigniting tensions in a city already on edge. Protesters calling for ICE to leave built a makeshift barricade in the street using dumpsters and furniture. Authorities launching flashbangs and tear gas trying to rein in the crowds. State and local officials continuing their call for federal agents to leave and activating the state's National Guard, all who would be wearing yellow safety vests.
Our community is tired. Our officers are tired. Our businesses are tired. And this additional support is necessary.
This as emotions and tensions remain high.
What is the end goal here? Who does this benefit? Who does this make safe? Because it's not us.
And many people have been watching this video over and over again. The people I talked to told me they're frustrated because they feel like this too could happen to them. Meanwhile, local leaders continue to ask for peaceful protests. They say first responders are working around the clock trying to keep everyone safe. Willie?
It's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
CNN's Tom Foreman is here to walk us through what we're hearing from federal officials, but also what the videos show, including the new videos, because what they are saying and what the videos are showing are not always the same thing, Tom.
Yeah, very much. I want to start with the very first statement made by the Trump administration in the aftermath of this shooting. It was a tweet by the Department of Homeland Security showing a firearm on what appears to be the seat of a car. And the tweet reads, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun seen here. You see the picture behind it there. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
Before he continues with what he's saying, this is a different video, by the way. It's titled, "Video Appears to Show Agent Taking Gun Before Minneapolis Shooting," right? This is the thing. If you are a person of the right, and you probably saw this already, right? You just ran with that. You was like, oh, see, of course, this is how it is. He's obviously a part of the left, so he deserved to get shot because he is obstructing the law, blah, 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 right? And you just run with that. Oh, it's always the left getting to something and doing something crazy, right? You just leave it at that and run with that without getting any other information or trying to keep looking to see if there is any other information that you could include, right? That is the issue. That is the issue with people that are a part of the right. That's the issue with people that are a part of the left. The left, they'll see a video of a cop that looks like he's racist or something or whatever, and they just see a certain clip and take it out of context. This is the issue with America. We are at war with each other, bro. This is crazy, bro. There is no middle ground when it comes to certain things. Because even if you have middle ground, it'll be a person on either side that'll say something about what you're saying. They'll pick and choose what you said. It could be something that you said that they might agree with, but if you say something else, they're like, oh, you're one of them or you one of them. We are screwed, it seems, bro. We're screwed.
New angle of the video that's just been cleared by CNN, and it shows the lead up to this deadly altercation. This is what I want you to take a look at. Of course, this is disturbing video. Let's take some time though and watch this together. Some things to note. As it begins, you see Pretti out there in the middle of the street. He shows up right in this area here. You start seeing him, and he is at one point using his camera. There he is, right there, and he's pointing to traffic, sort of waving traffic through. At some moment here, you see that law enforcement approaches him, and he backs away as they start moving up on him. He is not trying to move toward them. He's backing away. Then you're going to see one of these officers approach a woman near him and really forcefully shove her to the ground right there. And Pretti...
There's no need to do that. No matter what you say. If she's yelling at you or protesting, she don't have any firearm. What are you pushing her and shoving her like that? Let's be so for real. Let's be so for real.
Starts rushing over toward her. Now they're both getting pepper sprayed at this point. He gets grabbed and he's taken over to the ground here. I'll point out this is about 15 seconds from when officers turned to him. He's now on the ground. They are on top of him. The officers are all around. He does not appear to have a weapon in his hand. He doesn't brandish anything. He doesn't seem to do anything. And then all of a sudden you see one agent in the middle there. Look, he turns away, and that's when the shooting begins. One shot followed by, in our analysis, 9 other shots there. We heard from Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino. He was asked at what point Pretti brandished a weapon in all of this. This was his answer.
Ali, this situation again is evolving. This situation is under investigation. Those facts will come to light.
This is important because an important detail, because concealed carry is legal. We know from local officials Pretti had a permit to carry a weapon, and law enforcement analysts here on CNN have raised questions as to why the picture of this gun that DHS shared online was shown on the seat of a car and not in the scene where Pretti was shot. And we now have an answer. CNN analysis shows, if you watch all those videos carefully, you see a federal agent right there who appears to be removing a gun. This is very critical to remember. That piece of video you're seeing right there is happening about a second, or maybe slightly less than a second, before the shooting begins. Now, it is just video. We have to look at it. There will be a lot of questions here, but that's the reason people say you have to have a truly impartial and fair investigation here, because if he removed the gun before all this shooting broke out, then why is this man now dead?
See? Things like that, bro. There's a reason why people are a part of the left who think certain things about law enforcement or just things that are going on currently within ICE or any type of law enforcement that's going on right now, right? And I'm curious to see what creators that are mostly aiming towards the right have to say about this. Like, I follow one creator, Amala, makes great content. I agree with a lot of things she say, but I don't agree with everything she says though. But she makes great content. Go check her out. But I'm curious if she's gonna make a video on this. I'm really curious about that, to be honest with you. You removed the gun, you removed the weapon, and then y'all still shoot him down. Now, I'll say this again. I also believe that Renee the other ICE victim, I don't believe she should have gotten shot or killed. But with that being said, I also believe that she never should have been there blocking the road like that. What was she there for? She had kids. She should have been at home with her kids or whatever's going on. You know what I'm saying? She should have never been there. But I also believe she should have never got shot. You know what I mean? But this right here, people protest. You are allowed to protest or whatever the case may be. As long as you're not obstructing the law, you know, there's friendly protests. Some protests can get out of hand. But they removed the weapon and he's allowed to carry. And they still shot him down. How can you justify it? How can you justify that if you're a person a part of the right now? I'm just being so for real. You know what I mean? Just being so for real. Now, it'd be different if he would have started taking his gun out or reaching, you know what I'm saying? That's different. Because they have the right to protect themselves. But that didn't look like the case at all. They already took it, and then they still ended up gunning him down. Man, leave your thoughts here, man. We're going to end it there, man. What do you think? Leave thoughts down below. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Support the channel. Squad, we out.